and welcome back to the mat. Today we are talking about plank. And plank is one of those poses that you either love to hate or hate to love or just don't like it. And I feel like people need a better explanation of plank because there's two categories. Category 1 is just getting her done. Category 2 is understanding how to effectively do plank to get the most bang for your time. And that's the category I want to put you in today. I want to just take a few minutes to take you through how to properly do plank in the hopes that you'll be able to get more out of this practice and every practice that includes plank from here on out. I look at the body as plank being cut into thirds. 1/3 arms, 1/3 core, and 1/3 legs. And when we look at it that way, we can more effectively practice plank and help tone and strengthen our body. For a lot of people, they overuse the arms to compensate for the abs. And you're really doing your body a disservice. So by putting our body in the right position, we can more effectively use our body no matter how little or how much we're practicing plank or any other pose for that matter. When we practice properly, we fire the right muscles, and when those muscles fire properly, it's going to help put us in a happier, healthier, more functional category. Okay, so first things first. With plank, we're going to start with the hands. Fingertips are nice and wide. And the middle finger is pointing forward. Now, for some people, they instantly start complaining that their wrists hurt. Well, think about it. So much of what you do during the day is flexion with the wrists, and now we're creating extension. Plank often gets the rap of only being a core pose and a strengthening pose, but plank is also an intense wrist, forearm, and hand stretch. When is the last time you had 90 degrees in extension of the wrist rather than flexion? So feel free to give those wrists a nice little 1-2. Check out some of my videos that focus on hands and wrists. I'll post those in the comments so you can check those out as well to help you recover and build up some flexibility, mobility, and strength in your forearms and wrists. For the time being, if you need to, feel free to roll the mat a few times to give your wrists a little bit of cushion. Just know that the more you do it, the better it's going to become. The second thing, I'm going to face you. The second thing is arm rotation. Now, for those of us that like to use our biceps and pec muscles to dominate a plank, men often are in this category. Sorry, guys. It's an internal rotation. When we internally rotate, we hunch and then overuse bicep and pec. I want you to externally rotate, which there's a wrist stretch again, so that the folds of the elbows point forward. Now, watch out, my hypermobile people. You're going to have to give a little bend to the elbow because that full joint in full extension isn't helping your arms. You're straining those ligaments and that connective tissue, and really what you need to do is shorten those tissues. So let's not feed the piper here and give a little bend. You're going to be so happy that you did. With that external rotation, turning out, not turning the hands, it's no different than when you break the stick. Now my shoulders drop down and back, and I can feel my upper back broad and spread rather than hunched and spread. So it's this type of movement. And I'm just going to turn the hands. Okay? So from there, I'm not feeling sunken. All right? Head dropped forward just puts more weight on your back. And I'm not hunched. That external rotation is the key to feeling a spread in your upper back, a broadening without hunching. Next is what to do with the rib cage. We're not splaying and dropping. We're also not hunching. So the bottom front of the rib cage and the hip bones, your front hip bones, ASIS, anterior, superior, iliac spine, doesn't matter, but if you're wondering. So these 2 points here kind of tip up and in. It doesn't make you hunched and rounded. It's just engaging those deep core muscles. The rectus, which is your six-pack muscle, your deep transversus, which is your deepest core muscle, it's your back muscle, and some pelvic floor, obliques, all that. And so that little tip in is going to help you create the earthquake, which is your core kicking in. Remember, 1/3. 1/3 arms, upper back, 1/3 core, pelvic floor included. As I come in and prepare for my plank, the last one is your legs. Now, for some of you who practice a leg split position, I'm going to teach you the leg zipped position. Reason being is the line of your core, yes, your core has a line, starts at the arch of the foot, which is why we practice yoga bare feet, and I'm the foot Nazi, taking care of your feet. So it comes up through the inner leg line and into your pelvic floor. So when you squeeze your inner thighs, when you hug your legs, you trigger more pelvic floor, which we want that. All right, so hands, arms, back, ribs. Now look at when I'm stepping back. My wrists stay under my shoulders. I'm not going to lean back at all. Once I extend my leg and square the hip down, I'm going to step the opposite back to meet it and zip them together. My front hip bones tip up into my back body. I'm not hunching, but my front ribs do the same. Now reach from your heels to your crown, stretch it out, and hug your legs, hug your glutes, hug your bathroom muscles, and press into all of your top 4 fingertips and knuckles. That way the weight doesn't stay just on the heel of the hand. Now I'm shaking like a banshee. Okay, you should be too. If I want to come into kneeling plank, boom, knees down. Don't shift your body at all. Work through full plank temporarily to find kneeling plank. Because a lot of people are here and it's not that you're not getting the core workout you want. Or they're here. Remember, lift up, press away, wrists stay under shoulders. All right, if you were working through that with me, just give it a little stretch back, pause and breathe. And then shake out the wrists. Remember, you got to build up that strength. If you're on a computer a lot, you drive a lot, there's a lot of tension through there. We got to work through that. Okay, we're going to use a chair to start. I'm going to work through a flow of various planks, and we'll give you some fun breaks and some release in between. Starting out on the chair, the hand position is going to be a little bit different. Either my fingertips are forward, palms flat, or I can angle my arms and grip the sides of the chair, thumbs forward. You're going to still work that external rotation on the arms. So coming into plank, you see how my body's at an angled position now? I'm not here, and I'm not here. Hip bones tip up, rib cage is broad, folds of the elbows forward. Now zip and hug your legs. Let's breathe here. Inhale through the nose, and exhale through the nose. Tongue off the roof of the mouth. Keep breathing. Inhale, and exhale. Now exhale, pull back with your hips, flip your hands and palms to be flat, half down dog, bend and straighten the legs a few times, keep your palms pressing and sink through the underarm and chest. Sit your hips up onto the high shelf behind you. Regrip your chair, roll through, you might need to adjust the feet back into your plank or your angled plank. I'm going to readjust my hands so they're flat now. 10 times scapular push-up. This is not an elbow bend, okay? This is all a shoulder blade movement. So inhale, squeeze and pinch. Exhale, press and broaden. Keep your hip bones tipped up. Inhale, squeeze and pinch. Exhale, press and broaden. I'm going to do 10. If you can get 5 in, awesome. Just keep breathing. These are all the muscles that you're activating that help you do a better push-up. So if your push-ups are like spaghetti noodles, you got to switch to scapular push-ups. 4 more. Pinch and broaden. No saggy head. No bending the elbows. And 1 more. Back into half down dog. Bend and straighten the legs a few times. Move the shoulders. Take a few breaths. And then roll it back into your angled plank. Again, folds of the elbows. You got this. Tailbone tips down, hip bones tip up and in. Now balancing on your right foot, we're going to take that left knee into the chest 5 times. Here we go. Knee up and then hug it in. Extend it back. Knee up, hug it in. And extend it back. Knee up, hug it in. Extend it back to newborn. Knee up, hug it in. Last one. Knee up, hug it in. Downward dog. Breathe. Exhale back into angled plank. Here we go. Legs are strong. Knee up. Hug it in 1. Extend back. Exhale. 2. Exhale. 3. You're giving it that little oomph at the end. Exhale. 4. And exhale. 5. Bring it back. Stretch. Drop to your knees. Scoot your hips back. Toes rolled under. And sink. Now I'm not sitting to my hips, I'm hanging. Breathe. Sit bones spread. Up. Now move your chair. Move your chair. We're going to come down now. to the forearms. So when you work with the forearms, I'm not a fan of this position because we overuse the pecs here. Unless that's your focus, arms are your focus, open it up. You're going to shoot the strength into your core. It's going to be a totally different pose. I like using a yoga block for that, or an umbrella, or something to help create about a forearm's distance. So we want to be here. If you don't have a block, no stress. Palms face in or make fists and press your fists. So the weight's not just on the elbow, you're karate chopping the floor all the way to your pinky finger. So from here, same thing again, pull the shoulders back and push down into the forearm like a big foot. Step back 1 foot at a time, lower your hips. I can also lower my knees. Okay, now I'm modified. Without sinking, press down. Now if you really want a gold star, try turning the palms up and push your thumbs into the floor. There's that full external rotation. Holy shoulders, now you can feel it. So let's hold here and breathe. Zip the legs, hug the glutes, tip the front hip bones even more into your core, and lengthen. Keep pressing away from the mat, all with the arms. Feel free to use your knees. All right, now drop the pelvis, uncurl the toes and straighten through the feet. Try not to roll in the ankles. Press your pubis bone down, lift your belly, turn your palms up if they're not, and spread your hands, press your thumbs, and awaken into a Sphinx pose. So super broad neck, slide your head back, now the back's engaged. You should equally feel both sides of your back, not just one. Let's just look over each shoulder, a little bit of a neck stretch, and then palms turn back in again. Here we go. Curl the toes under, lift, knees are fine. Remember, press your block into the floor, press your forearms, not just your elbows. No hunching. Keep with me breathing. Now either drop to the right knee or really tone up your right leg. Without sinking the pelvis 5 times, let's lift the opposite. Uncurl the toes. Here we go. 1, 2, straight up. 3, 4, and 5. Opposite side, uncurl the toes or drop the knee. 1, 2, notice how my body's not moving. 4, and 5. Now either drop to the knees or kick the hips up into puppy dog, sometimes called dolphin. Bend the knees a few times. Lift up out of your shoulders. Don't just say you can't do this. If your hamstrings are tight, really bend your knees here. It's a huge shoulder stretch. You can change this up and do the exact same thing. Apologize for the heavy breathing. By dropping your forearms here. Could actually use the block. And sinking this way. So same action, you're just not weight bearing. So you can do your puppy dog on the chair like this. And if your shoulders are restricted, you're going to feel it. So let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the knees down. All right, full plank. Feel free to stay in any one of the variations and just keep at it. Keep coming into angled plank. Keep coming into forearm plank. Keep coming into kneeling plank. I don't care where you are. I just don't want you to say I can't do this, okay? Challenge is what we want. Hard or impossible and challenging are 2 different things. Let's set it up. Fingertips nice and wide. Folds of the elbows forward. Back is broad, not hunched. Chin is in. Rib cage, hip bones. Step 1 foot back at a time. Zip up your legs, find your plank. Now breathe. Push into your fingertips, into your knuckles, like you're going to lift the heel of the hand. Keep breathing. All right, bend your knees, hips come up. If you're on the chair, you're in half dog. If you're on your forearms, feel free to sit back, use puppy dog, or join us in down dog. Walk out your dog. Do not walk your hands closer to your feet. Press away. Breathe here. All right, back down to the knees. Take a breath. Once on the knees, let's move it into side plank. So from here, set it back up. You can be on your forearms. If you're on your forearm, the direction you're facing, that arm is perpendicular to your body, or like the cross of a T, okay? So you can be on your forearms if you're working through forearm plank. Step it back, set it up. Take that time to set it up. Don't rush. All right, bottom arm externally rotates. If your shoulders are sticky, guide your arm. Now roll open onto your left side. It's okay if you're on your right. Push into all of your knuckles, all of your fingertips. Fold to the elbow forward. I'm wrist. I can be knee, toes, arch of the foot. So I'm on one tightrope. Drop your tail, belly in. Find a focal point, top arm to the sky so I can be here. Nothing wrong with that. Or I'm going to lift up that bottom leg and stack my feet or stagger. Now I am bowing my body. I'm arcing my body. The weight's going to feel like it's on the heel of the hand, so you got to push into your fingertips as much as you can. Kick in that oblique. Let's go 10, 9, I can be here, 8, 7, 6, I can spin my bottom foot back if I need to, 5, 4, you come this far, 3, 2, down into plank. Knees drop, elbows bend slightly. Drop your pelvis cobra. Feel free to drop it down. Drop the shoulders back, elbows in, pull back on your hands. Just stay with me. 3, 2, 1, pull back with the tailbone. Keep your hands stuck in place. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Stretch and breathe. Rise up. Now if I'm on my forearms, I'm going to turn now the opposite arm. So I just did my left, or it would be your left. Now I'm going to do my right. So I roll open and I'm on my forearm. Otherwise, set it up. Broaden, tip. 1 foot back at a time. Here we go. If that arm and shoulder are sticky and they're not rotating, you got to guide. Use your opposite hand to tell the body where it's supposed to go. If it's stuck, it's not going to move. You got to help it. Wrist, knee, toes, arch. 1 tightrope. Drop the tail. Turn, 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 turn without sinking your bottom shoulder in. Top arm comes to the sky. Now I can pick up that bottom leg and really pick up my hip. Breathe. Wherever it is you are, you just want to ask yourself, am I doing the best of my ability? If you are, you're in the most advanced pose. Let's go 10, 9, keep breathing, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down. Hold it. Downward dog. Breathe. Move your legs, move your hips, wiggle around. Yoga does not have to be stagnant, even Hatha yoga. Drop your knees now. Don't move your hands. Sit it back nice and slow. Create that traction and stretch. Inhale, roll up. And as you roll up, last set series here, back to the forearms. So once on your forearms, measure off wrist to opposite elbow. If you need that block between the hands, feel free. Otherwise, fist in, no gripping. Turn your palms up if you want even more of a challenge and really feel that broadening in the chest. Step back 1 foot at a time. Lower the hips. You might need to scooch. Knees are there, no sinking. Press like one big foot. Press into your fists. Stay with me. Now we're going to use our feet. Press forward onto your toes. Press back into your heels, not going up with the hips. So slide it forward like you're on a conveyor belt. Slide it back into your heels, stretch. Forward, shoulders are forward of the elbows. Back, now they're behind. Forward, back, now that they're behind. Forward and back. Inhale forward, exhale back. 5 more. 5 and back. No sagging. 4 and back. 3 and back. 2 and back. 1. Now set it down. Drop your chest. Interlace your fingers behind or grab your strap. Anchor the tops of the feet. Pull it open. Pull your thumbs off your sacrum. Really feel your shoulder blades roll in. Drop the chin in. Now breathe. Drop your hands, not your chest. Press back. And when you're almost back, take your left hand, slide it under, widen your knees. A little twisted devotional here. And just peek up underneath your arm as you roll onto your back shoulder. Deep breathing here. Calm your breathing. Tell your mind, tell your body, tell your heart rate to slow down by slowing your breath. Inhale, switch. So up a little bit to thread the needle. And then just let yourself sit back slightly. We're looking for a stretch. And then back to center. Whew. Break your chair back here. Bring your chair back in. As you bring your chair back in, one last time, hands on the chair, scoot your hips back, curl your toes under if you want that little bit of a foot stretch, sink and breathe. Now take your left hand, slide it under, there's that twist again. Let the arm roll down towards the face. Notice what you notice. And then back up. Same thing, thread the needle as far as you can go. Lay onto the side of the shoulder. Side's a little tighter for me. And then slowly up. Roll the shoulders up to the ears. Relax them down and back. Turn the head side to side. Wow, great job. Hopefully you come back to this video time and time again to not only practice plank, but understand and remember how to practice it properly. It's the little things that add up over time and make the big difference. Now, I hope you go off into your day and have a happy, healthy, amazing day wherever life takes you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video to let other people know that they should check it out too.